Okay, so we've called this meeting today to discuss the bills proposed by each member of the Sleep-In Party. As the leader of the Sleep-In Party, I'll present my bill first. So my bill is the Empowerment Bill. It's a bill for an act that aims to empower students of the school and form a representative council. So this bill attempts to shift the concept of leadership from one that is to enforce to a manner that is to create. We hope to do this through the formation of the Student Leadership Council, which enables students to rise up from each year to undertake leadership positions and do more than just put together year meetings. Instead, we want to give them power to elect a leader of the year, give them the ability to pass relevant ideas directly to the headmaster, and make the change they want to see in the senior school. So this bill impacts students from years 7 to 12. It aims to give them more power and flexibility in key decisions with the school. This bill will be implemented from 2016 onwards. It will promote leadership opportunities in the school, and it will improve the teacher-student understanding altogether. This bill will be desirable as it alleviates stress from teachers and also gives students more power and responsibility, which could be key in the development towards the later years. So my proposal is the creation, first of all, will be the creation of the Student Representative Council, which will be 3 mediators from the Sleep-In Party, and then 3 candidates from each other year voted in by that year. So 3 from year 7 to 12. So they'll be given specific powers and responsibilities, which include policy implementation. This will be the power to bring forward policies that fit the needs and the desires of the student body. And this will also be key in the shifting nature of the school. Choice representatives, which is to ensure that the student representatives are adequate and not just voted in sporadically, which means that the people in the Student Representative Council actually put there, not jokingly, and they're put there to move the entire school forward. So there's also the ability to have a meeting with the headmaster, which is this is to ensure that the actual views of the students are catered for by a higher rank that make big decisions in the long run. So also to instate the school captain and prefects. This meeting of the Student Representative Council will dictate who is the headmaster and who is the school captain, vice school captain, and all the prefect roles. But however, this will also be implemented in with the students' opinion and the teachers' opinion. So the next one is to decide the fate of students and hold meetings. So this will put students who have been troublemaking on trial and have set up a jury and get witnesses, etc., in to make sure that not only the interest of the school are met, but also interests of fellow students, etc. So the third part of the proposal is that the teacher interference part. As the model of the Student Representative Council does not really aim to have any teacher interference, this will not be a big part of it. However, there will be one mediating teacher voted in by the Student Representative Council that helps mediate and facilitate these meetings and decisions. The limitations and regulations include abuse of power, overthrowing of teacher, and misuse of resources. Although we want to give the students an important job, we need to mediate their responsibility to ensure the well-being, health, and enjoyment of all staff and students. So decision-making in future amendments will be decided by the 3 key mediators of the Sleep-In Party, the mediator being the teacher, and also the students of the Representative Council. However, the power will be shifted towards the mediator and teachers if something like this were to get out of hand. So I now call upon Daniel Zulu to present his bill to the council.
My bill is the Internet Entitlements Bill. So this bill is hopefully going to become an act that increases internet freedom whilst keeping the internet secure and safe. Because as a party, we believe that currently students' education is at risk because so many resources are currently blocked. So, as an overview, the bill aims to change the internet experience for all students at Knox Grammar School. It intends to give more freedom to students while surfing the internet at school without affecting the level of internet security and the safety of the students and their computers. And of course, we have various subsections that are included in the bill. So the first subsection is that the bill will impact all students of Knox Grammar School who use the school internet on a daily basis for recreation, work, and various other activities. The bill is targeted to all students because we believe that their educations are being limited due to the lack of resources with the current situation at Knox Grammar School. Secondly, the bill will impact the level of internet security and filtering. Currently, the Knox Grammar School system is simply carrying out or blocking websites which they believe have a small chance of being dangerous or contain malware or keeping the students off task. But we believe that all websites should be evaluated, so we'll have a group of people who will look at these websites and decide whether or not they are safe or appropriate for school, instead of simply just carrying out websites that the school sees unfit. Thirdly, the bill will change internet security at different time periods. So during school times there will be more protection and more sites that are used inappropriately will be blocked, whilst after school from 3:15 onwards, social media such as Facebook, etc. will be unblocked and available for all students. And lastly, during the weekends when students stay here for various activities such as cadets and after school sport, we believe that everything should be unblocked as it is not in school times. As my fourth point, the bill will allow access to social devices, instant messages and internet communication tools. The internet is currently blocking social devices and tools, etc., such as WhatsApp, Skype, and Facebook. We believe this is wrong because students need to use these tools to assist in their daily lives and make their school experience easier and more convenient. With the ability to easily communicate with these tools, students will have less stress going to school. And lastly, as my fifth point, the bill also hopes to protect our students from malware and viruses that lurk on the internet without restricting their education. So we will introduce a new and stronger antivirus that will act as a defense against malware. Currently, the protection provided is doing more harm than good by blocking resources that could be used productively. So now I'm going to pass it on to our next speaker.
Harris has the floor.
Okay, so my proposed bill is change to boarding leave. So pretty much this bill attempts to change the ways that boarders get leave and how long they are allowed on leave. So this bill will change how boarders get leave, the amount of time boarders are allowed on leave. It will also change where boarders can go on leave, and it will change how many people boarders have to go on leave. So this bill will reorganise how members of the boarding house will get leave by making it easier for parents and members of the boarding house to submit leave and be approved leave. So, the proposal. Students are expected to be back within the new times. Students are expected to go to the location which they specified with the member of staff. Students are also expected to let a member of staff, if that's for instance the trains are running late, they're required to call the staff and let them know that they will be late. And that's pretty much it.
Alright, thank you, Harris. Now Matthew McDonald has the floor.
Alright, so basically my title is the Knox Electronic Improvement Bill 2016, and so basically I'm reinforcing the idea that Daniel put forward, and so it's an act which allows students to enjoy out-of-school activities online, helping maintain a happy student environment at Knox. So in an overview, this bill attempts to create an environment at Knox where students can enjoy their out-of-school online needs, such as chatting with people, social media, and possible games which can be carried out in free time. This bill also allows boarders to keep their electronics overnight, not for social aspects, but for important work needed to be completed. So this bill will ensure a non-restricted Wi-Fi with reason, before and after school and during breaks. So I'm reinstating the idea that Daniel said. This bill also allows Knox boarders to keep their electronics overnight to complete important matters such as homework or assignments. Faster Wi-Fi connection and an increased availability over the school, and new computers every 2 years. The KEIB is designed to better the Knox community in a number of ways. Unrestricted Wi-Fi during breaks and out of school will benefit students by reducing the heavy cost of data, which we are forced to use as many sites on the Wi-Fi are blocked. Students are getting constantly bombarded with schoolwork and assignments. Knox boarders are unable to complete work at night due to the fact they must hand in electronics on a nightly basis. Our bill allows boarders to keep electronics overnight to complete hard work that needs to be done. Knox's current broadband speed, when compared to other schools of similar repute, performs far below average, which leads to a less efficient learning environment. With faster connection speeds, students will be able to perform to their full potential and better their academic performance. Students will also receive a new laptop in every 2 years. So my proposal is to ensure a non-restricted Wi-Fi before and after school and during breaks. We need downtime from schoolwork, and the point is that students, when they want to use things, it's always blocked by the school. This has gotten to the point where students are wasting lots of money on data. This bill allows boarders to keep their electronics overnight to complete important matters, and boarders are completely fed up with the fact that we must hand in electronics at night, and we feel as if we are at a disadvantage with the day boys that can do extra work at night. Boarders need to be able to complete their heavy loads of work. This establishment of electronics is only for work and not for recreational use. Faster Wi-Fi connection and increased availability. Students need to be able to access internet in all areas of the school with an increased speed of connection. The Knox people need to get onto the things that they need online in a quick and easy manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew McDonald. Now passing over to Ollie Hayes. Ollie Hayes now has the floor.
I will be presenting you the latest starting time bill. This is a bill to make Knox Grammar School have a later starting time. This bill, when put into place, will allow students to start Knox School in the mornings later. This will allow them to have a later sleep in and more rest in the morning. It has been scientifically proven that starting school later enhances a teenager's learning capacity and allows them to be more productive and work better in the long run. It is proposed that school starting times will be moved from 8:20 to 3:15 to 9:30 till 4:30. We believe these timings are the best possible for the students of Knox Grammar School. So, my first subsection is the starting time of school for all Knox Grammar School Year 12 students. Although our party is for both the senior school and junior school, we believe these starting time laws and policies should only be put into place for the senior school, as the junior school is not yet in an age where sleeping in the morning enhances their learning abilities, as they are usually on a monitored sleeping schedule that they are put on by their parents. The reason school will be starting later is the fact that it's been scientifically proven that schools and students in high school work more efficiently when starting school later in the morning. Although it is proposed that school starting times will only be set back 1 hour, that hour is critical. Imagine just an hour more of sleep in the morning. It's truly amazing. Number 3, this bill will be implemented on a day-to-day basis, starting from the start of 2017 school year. Each day, students will start school at 9:30 and finish at 4:30. Lunch and recess times will also be changed to implement it more around the new school timings. The reason we are changing these times is so that it's more productive for the students. And number 5, the effect this bill could have on the students at Knox Grammar School and the school in general is humongous. Imagine being able to sleep in an hour more in the morning, getting to school, being more focused, more energetic about your school. It could even get to the point where you see drastic HSC improvement of both the students and the school in general. Thank you very much I will now pass back to Mr. Penn.
So now we'll be having a discussion on all of the policies and whether or not they all the bills and whether or not they should be passed in our new legislation. So, first we'll be going over the Empowerment Bill 2016. So this is a bill I've put forward. Are there any questions to the floor?
Actually, I was going to ask, so you said that we'd all have 3 representatives from every year group?
Yes.
So say you were a representative, if I had a question for Mr. Weeks, will I come to you and would you speak to him?
Yes,
Or will
so-
I go directly?
So you come speak to me first, and if I cannot discuss it, if I cannot solve the problem and it was a major issue that was affecting you and maybe many other people, then I'd bring it straight to Mr. Weeks, the headmaster of Knox, to get that sorted for you and so it can positively benefit the rest of the school.
I have a
Yes,
point. This I almost feel like there should be another middle point between, say, Daniel going to you, then you going directly to Mr. Weeks, because I feel like that's escalating rather fast. What's your opinion on that?
Okay, so my opinion on this is that us as students want this power to go straight to Mr. Weeks. We deserve, from all the hard work we put in, all the money we pay to the school, we deserve to have this power to have our ideas heard. We could go to a mediating teacher, but this would diminish the whole purpose of the Student Representative Council. I strongly believe that we should be able to bring our concerns straight to Mr. Weeks.
No, I concur.
How will this relate to prefect? So is there going to be prefect group or do you have to be prefect to be representative?
No, this representative and prefect's two different things. Representative is voted in more by the year without any teacher influence and also dictated by the members of the Sleep-In Party, whereas prefects, on the other hand, are more like the leaders of the school. Like they have the more distinct and well-known about decisions. Okay, so now we'll be voting on the passing of this bill. So, can I have the floor to vote on this bill? Okay, so this bill has been passed. Okay, so we'll now be moving on to Daniel Zulu bill.
So my bill was the Internet Entitlement Bill. So it was the bill to increase internet freedom whilst keeping the internet secure and safe. So
I do have a question. So how do you reckon this would improve the learning of all students at the school?
this will have a massive impact on the productivity of students because right now lots of websites and resources are currently blocked because of maybe some small issue the school tech department has had, and this can easily be fixed with this as we will have access to them and they'll have to be evaluated before they are blocked. So all the resources that have a slight usefulness will be available to the students.
Oh, I got a question.
Yeah.
Couldn't there be like a backward step almost though, seeing as websites could become unblocked and there could be like, for instance, I think you said that Facebook will be blocked, but other social media sites that maybe end up being unblocked, what would be the result that students end up spending more time on that and less time focusing on their work?
Well, of course, that is an issue. It's actually an issue now already. But things like Skype and WhatsApp is more of a communication tool. For example, assessments coming up, especially group work, you have to be able to talk with other people.
But during the school hours?
During school hours, it will be available, but of course, teachers have to have control over it. And it's already a Knox policy about how teachers being upset about when you have your computers open, when you have your phones out. So it should be controlled through the same method.
So we'll now have a cumulative vote, impartial vote. So raise a hand if you believe that this bill should be passed. So that is majority vote. So this bill has been passed. We'll now move on to Harris Manning with his bill.
Alright, so my bill was a change to the boarding leave. So this bill would allow boarders to have more freedom, but also be still safe. Is there any questions about the bill?
I do have a question. How long is the early notice that you have to give them?
Probably if you're saying you're sitting at the train station, and then something happens, maybe someone at the next station down has a heart attack or something, and the train's unable to know. As soon as you find out, you must contact the school.
Alright, so say you wanted to stay at a friend's house
Yes.
It's on the weekend, on Saturday. When will you have to notify the
You have to notify by Thursday night.
Thursday night?
Yes,
so,
your parents have to send a email or submit a form and send it to the house.
so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's like a 2 to 3 days period? Okay.
It's because of food. You got the kitchen has to order food.
Of course, of course. So does anyone else?
So, what time do boarders have to be back before the school week begins?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Well, in year 7 and 8, it's 8 o'clock. But then years above, like 9 and 10 is 9, and then 11 and 12 is 9.
Okay, so who votes for this bill to be passed? This bill has been passed. We now move on to Matthew McDonald to deliver his bill to the party.
Okay, so basically my bill coincides with Daniel's bill in electronics, and so we need to have a bit less restrictions on our school Wi-Fi. We also need boarders to have their electronics overnight to complete work, faster Wi-Fi connection, and new computer every 2 years. So is there any questions? No, actually, put his hand up first.
Well, you said that students boarders should be able to keep their phones overnight. And you said it's not for social reasons. I believe it actually is for social reasons.
Well, there will always be a couple of people that will not follow the rules and go on some social media, and that's why after 9 to 15, so the time now which we have to end in our electronics, there will be more restrictions on the Wi-Fi, so students will have to use them.
Very good. So who votes this bill should be passed? Yeah, done.
Alright, thank you.
Oliver, your bill was very memorable, so
I think it's an amazing bill, and I think everyone should vote for it.
as this is a key policy, we're just going to take a vote for it because we both all have considerable knowledge. Everyone votes for the sleep-in bill. Passed. This has been the discussion 2016 bill passing. 5 out of the 5 bills are passed.
Comment, rate, and subscribe.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen.